I want to make a video. Hopefully I can make it short because I feel like I've been making a couple videos, but I feel like I kind of go on a rant. I'm just going to share my sentiments in regards to something I've noticed for a little too long. Not sure if I feel like I've tackled it more or less in some of the videos. I've hinted at it or I've mentioned it, but it hasn't really been the focus of the video. And that's a lot of, I've mentioned anti-blackness sentiments within the brown community, but I'm going to be very direct. In this case, I feel like I've noticed this for much too long within the Latino community. I'm a Latina myself, and I want to share also this very specific example. I have a colleague, which I initially thought she was very informed or well-rehearsed on social issues that exist because she's the one that brought it up or brought up social issues off the bat. And this is something I mentioned in the previous videos where it's just like, maybe I shouldn't engage or continue to, have conversations if she mentioned something regarding social issues, because she really had me riled up and very emotional and in my feelings, given the fact that she hinted towards a lot of anti-blackness, or it was very blatant. Honestly, it was something that just, to me, it just hit with hate. It just, like, when it fell, like, I was just like, oh, I don't feel comfortable. And honestly, I feel like we've already had interactions where I've been outside of my element, where I've tried to rebuttal or respond, and I'm just like, I'm not going to get out of my element anymore, especially in a professional setting. Whew, my goodness. But this young lady, unfortunately, she is training me, and she goes at it again. The crazy thing about it all is the fact that she has African ancestry, without a doubt. As we shared also our DNA results initially, and it's really sad to see this level of anti-blackness. Not surprising, because I've seen it, I've heard it within my communities, and it's sad because it's like something that's so prevalent, it's so normalized. It's ridiculous how normalized it is. And it's not something that I've only heard within my community. I've heard it, and I've been around individuals that are trying to befriend me and trying to connect with me. And off the bat, they feel so comfortable to share their sentiments. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and say it. They're racist sentiments. And I've, now that I'm older and now that I'm bolder, not only that, but I'm more well informed on the world. I really just have little to no tolerance with things like that. So it's been really hard. It's been really, really hard because I'm just like, I'm tired of dealing with brain dead people. And this is probably why I feel a certain way I feel a certain way regarding living in the suburbs, where I find that people are more or less isolated. And this is not an excuse for their stupidity, naturally, because I have said many times in the past, people have access, the world has access to Google. The world has access to the internet, to books. Literally, books are free. I've personally gotten books for free at my grandpa's building. That's how specific I can be. I've gotten free books at the library. Yeah, I've gotten free books. That's what we need to know. We can get free books out here. And I know not everyone around the world, I don't know if, I'm sure that someone might be able to find free books somewhere in the street thrown, right? But the internet is accessible. People have smartphones. People have the ability to get informed. And there's no reason to be showcasing this type of behavior, this type of ignorance and stupidity in today's day and age. We interact with people from around the world, especially if you live in the USA, or I would think, and perhaps, it's just me saying that as someone that was born and raised in New York City, but it's just so sad because it's not only that, and it's not only that, it's contingent on your environment. It's also like many of the people that spew a lot of anti-blackness have Black ancestry. And that's what's so mind-boggling. It's like, are you not proud of who you are? Are you not happy with your identity? And I also see this in, as a Latina that has is racially mixed, and has not only Black ancestry, indigenous ancestry, European ancestry, Arab, and Arab also is technically under the continent of Asia, so I think that's a bit tricky, but I do have Arab ancestry. I find that as Latinos, many of us have ancestry from just about everywhere around the world, and to hate who you are is so saddening. And I know that this doesn't only exist in the Latino community, as mentioned also in my previous video, that there's this young lady, makeup artist, or she likes to do makeup, she's a makeup guru, or she's focused on that, but she mentioned the self-hate within her very own community that exists. And it's just so sad that we see this happening time and time again within the minority communities, to be honest. And especially communities of color. It's like, when are we gonna come into full acceptance of who we are and not allow this world to kind of dictate how we should feel, how we should view the world? Like, can we think for ourselves? And this is one thing I talk about so heavily on my page. It's like, let's think for ourselves, please. World, everyone, even challenge my own ideas. Think for yourself. Make, not only do you make conclusions, but observe, learn, dig deeper. Because everyone has yet to learn more. We all have to learn more. So I feel like when I see this of like, saying that you're so in tune with social issues and the plight of your community, and this is also something I've mentioned, it's like a lot of communities, especially communities of color, we only care to think about ourselves, our community, but we don't even dare to care or take into consideration our brothers and sisters. My brothers and sisters are within the Black community and all the other communities of color as well that exist. How can I only think about myself when we are all going through similar struggles? We all share a similar story, maybe not the same, but very similar. And naturally, I don't want to assume that everyone has had this experience with dealing with racism and prejudice around the world. But I find that many of the individuals that will talk about that have experienced that. And it's so sad to see when those very individuals want to only include, their community, want to only uphold their community, and in the process, they're also upholding the colonizers, right? I'm trying to shift away from, but they're trying to, I'm trying to shift away from something or anything that in my mind and my heart, I feel like leads to negativity. In this case, I'm trying to be more mindful of that. So I'm going to say Eurocentrism, right? And naturally, we know the story of colonization. We all know that colonization took place in the USA and in many parts of the world as well. So I don't want to diminish from how much colonization, and I talk about that time and time again in many of my previous videos, but this is not, I guess, the focus of this video. Although I do want to share something, but I guess I'll share at some other point. I don't want to, I guess, put fire, or like, what do they say? Fuel fire with fire. I'm just like, I'm tired of it. All I can do is bring knowledge and hopefully some insight, because I find that sometimes as individuals, we're just going through life and caring about ourselves. Me, myself, and I. It's always me, myself, and I, but never about our neighbors, right? And I talk about this too, how my upbringing, in the faith, naturally, although I don't believe and follow organized religion, I have my reservations regarding organized religion, but I do know that you know, when thinking about the message that Jesus provided and had, which I feel is very, very, very powerful, it was like, love thy neighbor as yourself, right? And to me, it's truly saddening to see how our communities of color, you know, Black and brown community together can be such a great force in this world, can change the dynamic of tomorrow. But because we care to still make differentiations of skin color, of people, because of their race, their ethnicity, their culture, their religion, we're still caught up in stupid things that don't matter because it's not affecting your life. It's really not affecting your life. We are not being united. We are not coming together. And it's so disappointing because it's like, for me, I feel like I lose trust, and I felt that. Most of my friends, to be completely honest, have been from other parts of the world, other walks of life, have different religions, have different cultural backgrounds, because I felt that they understood me more. I don't care to listen to stupid racist rhetorics or colorist rhetorics that affect the communities of color, you know? It really hurts me deeply. So it's so frustrating that people feel so emboldened to share that just because a person may not look like the individual they're trying to target or hate on. It's so disappointing. And I guess that's my overall message to, you know, not only the Latino community, the brown community, from other, you know, South Asian community, the Arab community, like the East Asian community. We need to wake up. Like, stop pandering to Eurocentrism, to colonization. Like, think for yourself. Like, why would you want to continue to propel something that doesn't even benefit you? It doesn't even propel your life forward. It's only for the betterment of their community. And that's the unfortunate thing. It's like our communities throughout history have elevated the white community, right? Those of European ancestry, but it has never cared to elevate their own or elevate the other communities of color. It's really sad. And I hope that we can break free from that, and we can really start to think for ourselves, be proud of our heritage, be proud of our skin color. Like, no, I don't want to be pale or white. I actually always wanted to be darker. I'm telling you the truth. And it's so frustrating to have people think that they know what you wanted or think what they know is best, when I think for myself. I love myself. I believe in myself. I know who I am. I know my ancestors. I'm proud of my ancestors. And I hope I can be a voice for those that have been oppressed in the past. So, you know, I hope that communities of color, as community of color, we can come together. We can be stronger. We can change tomorrow. And we can completely, like, eradicate colonization, eradicate Eurocentrism, because once we come together, we're a stronger force, let's be honest. And, you know, we should also be different in the sense that despite the hate that maybe we have received from the white community, if you have experienced racism from the white community, I have, despite that, I never wish ill on anyone, and I will never wish ill, because I know where I've been and I know where I'm going. And I know who I am. And I want my children and my children's children to be prosperous. And that means letting go of, you know, any evil or hate or ugliness within my heart. So we can be better, because we are better in the sense that we rise above our challenges. We change tomorrow, and it's only through grace and kindness that we can, it almost reminds me of the Selena, I know this is very cheesy, Selena Gomez song, Kill Them With Kindness, right? And it's not easy. I can say that. So I've never always been kind, right? Pain hurts, and being hurt hurts. But when all is said and done, I would never want to encourage anyone to hate anyone. So, and that's, I guess, my message is like, I've never understood why and how we could hate our own fellow brothers and sisters from the communities of color. And so that's the end of my message. I hope that, this can enlighten you, and this can give you a fresh perspective, and that people around the world, most importantly, especially our communities of color, can start to embrace the beauty that they hold, the beauty that I find that many have yet to explore and embrace. So embrace it today. Take care. Bye.